Hi, Erik Linask here in Las Vegas, here at Interop, talking with Doug Erwin from The Planet. Doug, welcome, good morning, thanks for joining me.
My pleasure.
So, for the folks out there who don't know, I mean, you were telling me The Planet really came together as a merger of two very competitive organizations back some 3 or 4 years ago. Tell me how that came about, and then maybe about where you see The Planet going in the near term.
Sure. 4 years ago, our investors saw tremendous opportunity in the hosting business. It was really on the verge of a comeback, which spring forward 4 years, and you can see that this industry is really taking off. And they wanted to acquire two of the largest web hosting companies and put them together. And they did. And today we are the single largest web hosting company. We manage 47,000 servers in 8 data centers, about 170,000 square feet. We figure about 2.5% to 3% of all the internet traffic goes through our data centers. So we're a fairly large organization in this booming business.
So, as you alluded to, the hosting business has really become very big. We all know what the economy was like the last couple of years, but you guys actually did pretty well.
We grew last year, which is a great thing with the S&P and a lot of people losing a lot of ground. We didn't grow at our typical double digits, but we grew both the top line and the bottom line quite substantially. So all the financial metrics last year were superb. Cash flow, it was a good year for us in a very tough economy.
What allowed you to achieve that growth in that economy?
Yeah, good question. When we put the two companies together, one of the rallying cries was all about automation. And how do we do everything but automate it? So just a couple of we've changed really the whole vision of the company from being a web hosting provider to really being the world-class customer experience provider for hosting infrastructure as well as managed services. And in order to do that, it required us to build out an entire new product line of hardware offerings as well as services. Usually that means a lot more people and bigger investments. Well, we've grown the company well over 60% in the last 4 years, and our headcount is down about 7%. And it's all done through the fact that every new product that we bring to market is all based on, can we provide it to the customer in an exceptional way, but automated so that I don't have to hire people to do it. And that's really the secret to our success right now.
So, with the incredible attention and interest in the cloud these days, everybody's talking about the cloud. How does that play into your strategy going forward?
Yeah, the cloud. Well, we could play Jay Leno and stop 10 people here walking by us and ask each one of them to define the cloud. Two of them would probably point to the sky, but the cloud really is a new method in trying to get more out of hardware. We are announcing our product. We're in beta today and have over 700 customers on the product, and we'll be announcing it in the end of this quarter. We want to have about 1,500 people working on it so that we get a chance to really test it. But the cloud is as big a difference for the end user as it is really for the provider. The end user gets a much more reliable, faster provisioned product. They pay for what they use. But the end user, the provider, gets a much more financially sound product because it allows us to sell more hardware without having to buy more hardware, if you understand what I'm saying. And the finances on it are really good for both parties. customer gets a cheaper, better product, and the provider gets a much better profit on that box.
And one more question for you. So you guys you said you run out of 8 data centers. Knowing that, how big of a factor is energy efficiency and sort of the green IT situation for you?
Huge. The top 5 expense line items in my business, number 3 is energy, is utilities. Mm-hmm. And we happen to have a very bright gentleman who's in charge of our facilities. And 2 years ago, probably getting into more detail than you want, but there's a crack unit on the data center floor, which sole mission is to suck air, hot air, cool it, send it into the floors. And these things stand about 7.5 feet tall. The ceilings are about 10 feet tall. Where is the hot air? The hot air is at 10 feet. Crack unit sitting at 7, and it's sucking all the air around it. So he came up with an idea that what if I put a chimney or a stove, pipe or a top hat on it, and took it up to just a foot below the wall or the ceiling? What would that do? And he ended up saving us 9%. 9% in our utility bills. That's a very big savings for us. And it's those kind of things that we're looking at that not only make us more efficient, but make us more green.
Excellent. We're talking here at Interop with the Planet's Doug Erwin. Doug, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.